Hi there. My name is Kellita Malouf, and I'm the author of How to Create a Burlesque Solo from the Inside Out, a mini manifesto and step-by-step guidebook. And I'm coming to you from the Feather's Nest, actually from the office corner of the Feather's Nest. And this is the studio in which I live. And I'm going to be reading to you from a very early section in my book. And this section is titled The Most Important Part of This Tiny Book. There are three secrets to creating and performing a satisfying burlesque act: reveling, revealing, and receiving. If you stop reading after this section, if life takes you on an unexpected ride and you miss all 13 steps that follow, you will have read enough. Wrap the notions in this premise around you like a blanket. Marinate in them like they were the most delicious, exquisite vinaigrette. If you lived by these notions, and by these notions alone, you would live very, very well. There are a lot of ways that a burlesque routine can be compelling or unremarkable. Why do some routines work while others don't? I know that many people focus on the three C's of choreography, costuming, and concept. But I've seen many performances that were a solid 10 out of 10 on all three C's and yet left the audience bored, daydreaming, or somehow disengaged. So, what's really at the root of performances that fall flat or leave the performer feeling off, even if the audience responded just as they dreamed? It's the absence of reveling, revealing, and receiving. Once you engage the three R's, reveling in your body, revealing your radiant essence, and receiving what you desire. Once you do that, the three C's will shine to their fullest. However, without the three R's, no amount of innovative choreography, ornate costuming, or clever concept will be enough. When you really understand these three keys, the three R's, your performances will come alive in a way you never imagined possible. In order to best understand the three R's, it's helpful to know what they are not. Mimicking versus reveling. When you mimic movements that you've learned will make you look good or sexy, you're trying on someone else's good or sexy. Reveling in your body is what happens when you are fully present and confident, regardless of what you're wearing or how you're moving. Reveling is when you are present in the very center of yourself. Instead of making an exaggerated, pin-up inspired facial expression, you might be standing center stage, taking a deep breath with a neutral gaze, in order to arrive fully in your body. Instead of strutting in stiletto heels in a prescribed way that you learned is quote unquote sexy, you might choose to be barefoot or to wear combat boots or tennis shoes if you feel more in your skin. Whatever you are wearing or however you are moving, when you're reveling, you are aware that all you are sensing physically and feeling emotionally. When you're reveling, you are working with your own feelings, your own self, and using that as fuel for your expression. Reacting versus revealing. Reacting can look like rebellion or submission. When you are performing as rebellion, you're using your act exclusively as a way of being outrageous for outrageousness' sake. You're expressing what you are not, who you are not, and maybe even who you are flipping off, instead of expressing who you are. By submission, I mean that you are on stage to be pretty or funny, to fit in with what you think will give you acceptance, to simply entertain an audience. You're essentially wearing a mask. Revealing happens when you are radiantly coming alive, full of vitality, truly expressing yourself. Revealing happens when you have transcended your need either to push against or succumb to whatever personal, familial, social, cultural, ancestral obstructions exist to you being yourself. We've been trained for so long to be pretty and or funny in order to earn acceptance and praise. When you have had your fill of OMG and WTF at how you've been oppressed and not seen and not heard and not mirrored and not appreciated, instead of calcifying in anger about it all, or drowning in grief and powerless surrender, you take the time and care to choose what you would like to create with your own life. In this case, you are revealing through the creation of your burlesque solo. You use your solo to create a template for the life you choose to live and inspire others from your very example. Constant movement versus receiving. When you are moving constantly with an absence of stillness, you're actually blocking connection with your audience and with yourself. When you incorporate enough alive stillness, by alive, I mean you continue to breathe in your performance, you're allowing yourself to both deepen your tangible presence and the possibility of giving and receiving between you and your audience. Before someone has even shown me their act for review, I can be 95% sure that if I could only give one piece of feedback, it would be to do less, to move less, to take more time with your chosen movements. You don't need to do much on stage to completely captivate an audience. Or perhaps said more truthfully, doing less on stage when you are present in your body is far more effective for both you and your lucky audience to receive the impact of your existence. Blending the three C's and the three R's. So you have the three C's of costuming, choreography, and concept. And you have the three R's of reveling in your body, revealing your radiant essence, and receiving what you desire. How do they relate? I believe that the three C's must be in service to the three R's. If it's the other way around, there's no life in your act. The three C's are the light bulb, and the three R's are the electricity that moves through it. The three C's are the windmill, and the three R's are the wind that moves the blades. The three C's are the ego, and the three R's are the soul. Recapping the three keys. The first key is reveling in your body. This means being aware of all your sensations, physical, emotional, spiritual. It means choosing to move in a way that expresses what you wish to express, what brings you pleasure, not faking it, being in your senses, embodying you. Key two is revealing your radiant essence. Now that you're in the center of yourself, feeling yourself so exquisitely, you won't be so tempted to look outside to see what you think others want to see in you. You'll just naturally be beaming your stardust essence. It won't be calculated. Your gift will be your presence, granted simply by your visibility, your consent to us truly seeing you. And it's so much safer on many levels to offer your presence when you're grounded in yourself rather than mimicking. The third key is receiving. The third key is receiving what you desire. Once you're allowing yourself and any other lucky witnesses to truly see you, you have set yourself up to be nourished by that gaze. It helps immensely to slow down, at least for moments, to drink in the gaze, whether it's your own internal gaze or that of others. A deep breath here and there goes a long way in increasing your receptiveness. Oh, and yes, if you're wondering, everything I share about creating a satisfying burlesque act also applies to living a deeply satisfying life. What prevents us in the first place from reveling in our bodies, revealing our radiant essences, and receiving what we truly desire? The answer: trauma. Boom, boom trauma versus drip, drip trauma. But for that next section, you will have to get your hands on my sweet tiny book, How to Create a Burlesque Solo from the Inside Out, a mini manifesto and step by step guidebook. Signing off from the Feather's Nest. Oh, did we stop? Let's do.